Hey everyone, welcome to the ranked post-game commentary. My name is Drybear, and in this game I played Artemis. And basically what I've done here is I've recorded a ranked game where I played it to my fullest, or fullest at the time. And I'm now watching it with you, and I'm just going to comment on things that I see, things that I did, reasons why I did them, and maybe things that my team could have done better, or where my enemies could have done better. So we'll start out here. I'm going to go for, it's basically just boots. I actually was going to go for Hand of the Gods, but I misclicked and got tier 2 boots, which is not the biggest of deals. Generally, if you're going to be soloing, I'm going to be soloing left here with Jungle Monkey. Generally, if you want to be soloing left, you might pick up Hand of the Gods if you don't have enough push to stop the two-man pushes coming in. So some characters can, some characters can't. As long as I'm continually landing basic attacks and landing my Suppress the Insolent, I won't really have much trouble, so I'm not too concerned about it. And you can't sell things back just yet. They haven't put that in the game yet, so it's not really something I can control. A lot of people are talking about getting Hand of the Gods. The enemy got 4 Hand of the Gods, so we're just kind of doing this here. I'm just looking at the scoreboard, trying to figure out what's going on. Looks like the Hebo is going to be mid. And I'm just sitting here spamming, I guess. And so we have a pretty good team comp. We have the Hebo and the Ao Kuang for our magic damage. We have our Emir for the tank, and then we have me and Monkey for ranged and melee physical damage dealer. So we have a pretty good setup. I'm not really too concerned as far as all points of the game. Our early game's pretty strong. We have a few stuns and some good ults. Me and Monkey are going to be really good in the side lane just because we have my ult combined with the Monkey ult, which is really good. Looks like the Monkey just asked me to watch the blue, which I'm already doing. This is really good practice to get into. If you're not jungling, try and help out the jungler. If you're on the left side of the map or in mid, you can go over to the blue or the green and cover that in case there's an invasion, because invasions are very, very common nowadays. It's very rare to get into a game where there isn't an invasion. And if you're in the right lane, you can invade their blue. That's kind of why left and mid are covering and right lane is invading. So that's kind of how it works. So I'm seeing here that no one's invading, so I'm going to head out into the lane and make sure the thing's getting out. Looks like the Monkey's going to be starting green, and he's going to head over to the blue, maybe. Sometimes the Monkeys will come in the lane and push, sometimes they won't. Some of the junglers have poor transitions when they have no Hand of the Gods up. So it looks like he's going to be laning here. We're going to be laning up against an Odin and an Anubis, which is a pretty deadly combo. When an Odin lands his ultimate down and you're trapped inside, there's no way to avoid the range of Anubis's ult. So if the Anubis is halfway decent at aiming it, you're kind of trapped in there, just kind of screwed for that. They're pretty tanky and there's some good push. Not the greatest push early on, which is kind of why I'm glad I didn't get the Hand of the Gods. Looks like I'm critting a bit. Pretty nice. I'm just kind of landing as many basic attacks as I can. When you have range like this and there's no... when they're melee, they can come into melee range for your minions. And you can easily just land a few attacks. The only thing that'll aggro you is either melee minions if they have them, which you can just easily outrun, and you're out of range for the ranged minions to attack. So as far as skill build here, I picked up Suppress the Insolent just so I could suppress the Insolent. I want to make sure that I can push the lanes, get some slows off, and it basically just helps you give me lane control. I followed up immediately with the Transgressor's Fate, the trap, just because I need to have some good side flanking coverage. And what I did here is the second the enemy missed or left the lane, I told my jungler right away. And this is very, very important to do. You need to be able to do this, especially in a high level, high rated setting. You need to be able to let your jungler know that your lane is missing, because it's very easy for junglers to get caught off guard or ganked from behind. So you just need to give them as much head start as you can. So I see that the Monkey decides to stay because he just had the green and the blue. So I head over to help. I put this trap here. It gives us a little bit of control over this corridor here, just because there's only a tight pathway to go around it. So if they decide to go around it, we can land skill shots on that. And I'm just kind of just hanging out, pushing the lane, making sure I don't want to leave the Monkey just yet, just in case they go. But I see the Odin is giving up on the pursuit of the Monkey, so I'm going to head back into lane here. I'm waiting for the ranged minions to aggro my minions so that if I come behind them, they won't aggro me. And now I'm going to head in here and I'm going to start shooting at the Odin just because I'm not really too concerned about the ranged minions. The Monkey comes in for a gank, so I'm just kind of going at this. I decide not to use this Suppress the Insolent because I'm kind of at half mana, so I don't want to force that. But I see that the Anubis is going in on our creeps, which is a little bit ill-advised. So we take him out really quickly. That was a big misplay by him. You really need to be watching out for minions early on in the game, especially because they do so much damage. I didn't think we had enough to take out the Odin, and I really didn't want to engage him, so I didn't follow up here. Generally, it's a good strategy, especially if you're solo queuing, to just, if your teammates are going, you go. So that could have been a misplay by me. just because even if you disagree with what they're doing, you need to commit with them. There's a lot of disparity between players if they don't know who they're queuing with. Just because you see them going, you're like, oh, this is probably a bad idea. But if I had gone there, we may have been able to get them. Who knows? It's generally good practice just to go if your teammates are going. So I'm going to be pushing this lane here. Got that last hit. I'm going to go in on this Odin, although the Anubis is coming in. So I tell him to retreat, although it's too late. I was trying to actually figure out what I could have said to him to let him know. And I say curses there because I was like, retreat behind us. I was like trying to figure out what I should tell him, but that was just a little bit too hyper aggressive for the monkey. So I hit level 5 now. I do have my my Caledonian boar, which will give me some really good control. As you can see, we're doing better than they are for now. So I'm level 5 and they're both level 4. Neither of them have ultimates. If they both had their ultimate, I would probably be playing a little bit safer here. In lanes, the side lanes especially, a key moment comes about when people in the lane start hitting level 5 because there are a lot of ultimate combinations in the game. Wukong Cupid's a really good one. The 2-second fear from Wukong will buy you enough time for the 3-second mesmerize from Cupid's ultimate. It's very hard to deal with. There's a lot of really good combinations. You can go for an Emir wall into an Impale with an on her, and then a Desert Fury with an Obelisk right next to him. There's a lot of really good combinations, so you need to be really careful when people start hitting 5. He's coming in, he's pinging, so I let him know my ultimate's ready, and I'm just going to go, and I'm going to lead with the ultimate. Odin decides to stay behind, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on him, although he is the tank to your target. I dodged the Mummify there, and I'm trying to get as far to the left as I can without leaving any of them behind. I'm out of mana, so I'm just going to try and follow. He steps on the trap, thankfully, the one I trapped landed quite a while ago. Anubis is not doing too hot, but, I mean, it happens. So we're kind of taking advantage of that. The Odin's out of mana, so I'm not really too concerned either. As far as skill build, I mean, I need to do an Artemis gameplay commentary, and that's really where I go over a lot of these things. I feel like these ranked gameplay commentaries are not so much about the character, but more about how the character fits into a competitive setting, and then some of the ranked gameplay and how this game evolves, the current meta and stuff like that. Although, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of the current meta, so I'm trying to get enough mana for Suppress the Insolent here. That's why I'm floating around. I probably would have killed him. It would have been really close, probably plus or minus 10 HP. So I was just kind of floating around taking the minions. I really wanted to get enough mana for Suppress the Insolent, but it didn't come in time. So the Anubis is here, and I know he's level 5, so I'm just kind of hanging out. I want to hang out outside, although the monkey is in the wings, so I might want to bait him a little bit. At this point, we have the lane advantage, we have the farm advantage, we're not too concerned about anything, so we're kind of just farming and just waiting for opportunities to come. That Mummify just barely missed. Regardless of how you're doing the lane, you really do need to be careful because at any point, they can make a comeback. I'm very low on mana. I have enough for a boar, but that's about it. I might be able to pull off one ability after that if this goes on a little bit longer. You can see I'm doing some pretty significant damage, landing a bunch of basic attacks on these guys. They're also taking minion shots, and they're getting hit by the monkey as well. So they're taking a lot of harassment, and that's what's making us a little bit more comfortable in the lane. We're not really too concerned about them attacking us or going in, although they do have that ultimate combination. I believe our ultimate combination is a little bit better. So he's going out here. They're pushing a little bit too close to the tower for my comfort, although I am ready to go when he goes. I'm landing Caledonian Boar, which you can follow up with a Happy New Year. And that's about it. I mean, we're literally just farming this out. If you get into this kind of situation, the best thing you can do is just hold on to your advantage. You don't have to force anything too aggressive. Many players will think that they have the advantage, so they'll try and go at it. Luckily, that missed. That could have been very dangerous for him. Could have easily followed up with Death Gaze and landed right on top of him. I got my boar ready in case they tried to stay. We could dive this if we decided to. And that bounce is going really well. So I decided to go for it. I ran straight through, landed the boar. So if the boar hits, it doesn't aggro me from the tower. So I led with the boar, and then oh, that was in game. Sorry, I was thinking that for some reason. I'm doing this post game, and I heard the noise. My mouse froze up here while I was recording, I guess. Yeah, I'm shooting at the wall and freezing up, so my mouse froze, and I had to check my recording for a second there just to make sure that it wasn't my actual USB noises going on there. So I'm just kind of harassing. I have no mana here, so I really don't have any offensive power. I have my basic attacks, but I haven't picked up any items yet, so as you can see, I have about 3k gold saved up. Looks like mid lane's doing pretty well. They got the tower down, and ours is still up. Right lane is doing okay. No damage on either of the towers, but they're doing okay. I really need to open the scoreboard more often while I'm playing. It would really help me to show things. This Anubis decided he wanted to step on more traps, and then he threw out a very angry Mummify in my face. It's pretty hard to play Anubis against multiple players, especially players who are paying attention. Sometimes it's hard to land those abilities, so I can't blame him for that. So I head back and I finish off my favorite second item, which is the Executioner. It gives you physical power, attack speed, and also a 60 armor penetration, a 60 physical protection penetration, which gives you pretty much true damage in the early game, probably for the first 10 to 13 minutes or so. When people get passively when they level up, they get stats into their physical protections and protections like that. So usually for the first few 10 to 15 minutes you have true damage. So their mids here, or not their mid, their right lane, their Cupid is here. So we got a Collie coming in. I tried to go around, but I only get shot at by a whole bunch of minions. I end up doing it anyway. I'm trying to help him. I really should have committed to a direction when I got there in time, but... So we Happy New Year's, I follow up with a boar and I express the insult right on top of it. I was going to go for Odin, but I wanted to make sure that Collie couldn't chase my teammate. Luckily, the trap that I planted landed right on Odin, so I'm going to be going for this kill here. I'm following as fast as I can. I land to suppress the insolent, and hopefully I can get this kill here. And I didn't. But I gave up just because I can't chase through the tower. Like I said, I gave up on Odin just because I had a choice between the two, and I saw that Collie was still going for the monkey, and I wanted to make sure that my teammate lived, so I turned and shot the person that was doing it. This is a very good strategy to pick up, just because a lot of people will chase kills, but leave their teammates behind exposed and possibly in a very vulnerable position. So having the practiced hand and mindset to always protect your teammates no matter what and stay together as a group will really help improve your team fighting and also keep your teammates alive and make the game a little bit more even and better. If you're doing super well and you get the kill but your teammate dies, it's not always a worthwhile trade. So we got 3 here, but I'm doing some pretty significant damage. Both of them are really low. Collie might come in, and I'm expecting her to pick up that movement speed. And Monkey has the same idea as he's going to head over there. I see that mid's coming in, though, so I'm going to come over here and help him. And we got 4 left, and I'm out of mana. Monkey's low on mana. We have no cooldowns, and Hebo's out of mana. So I don't think this is a good fight for us. We should probably back up. It looks like the Monkey's heading in for something crazy. His ultimate's down, but he's got full mana. I'm going to head back just to make sure he's okay. I don't want to leave him out there. I let him know my ultimate is ready. His ultimate's ready. So we're actually going to go for something here, it looks like. Which 4v2 with Hebo gone is not a super good idea. Collie's coming in. I'm not too concerned about her damage. So I go ahead and start slamming into her. I have some pretty good damage myself. And she wasn't too fed. And I was at full HP. So I figured I was just going to out-damage her. Unfortunately, they have the Hell over here, which is going to keep them healed up pretty well. And this Monkey's pretty low. I'm running straight back just because I'm expecting Odin to use his ultimate, although he just got a good Happy New Year off there. So I start slamming into him. I do use my beads, and I boar right away. This won't stun Anubis while he's ulting, but it'll do damage to him. Unfortunately, I get blocked by the creeps there. Hell is running at the monkey trying to get the kill, but he's surrounded by minions, and I'm low. Hell is really good at finishing me off. I'm trying my best to dodge this Anubis. In hindsight, I really should have just been attacking him the whole time, just because I'm so fed. Looks like I'm going to get the kill here, but I'll probably die to Hell. Yeah. So in hindsight there, the mistake I made is I was trying to dodge as much of his abilities as I could. However, he had just used Mummify, and he had just used his Grasping Dead, so his cooldowns were already used, so I really should have just been fighting them there. I have this habit of trying to dodge too much, and it usually gets me into trouble or makes me run in really odd directions, so it's something that I need to work on personally. And you can see the effect there. I did end up getting the Anubis, and maybe if I'd killed him quicker, I could have made a weird escape into the middle of the jungle or towards mid lane and avoided the death from Hell. Looks like Hebo did pick up that Hell kill right there, which is really nice. Hebo's kind of pushed our lane up. Both mid and left towers are down. I'm spamming my little dot buttons. I played a lot of RTSs before I moved into MOBAs, so I kind of have this APM spammy habit. Well, I'm freaking out over here. So we got Odin and Anubis still hanging out. They Anubis did use his ultimate, although it was a good amount of time ago. He used it at about the same time as my Caledonian Boar, which I believe the Caledonian Boar has a little bit less of a cooldown. So his ultimate will be up in probably about 5 to 10 seconds. I land a trap there, which is really good for me. I'm really concerned. I'm probably going to die here, but I'm just running around trying to avoid as much as I can. There's the boar, although the laser comes out and I end up getting killed. I spammed help just because I thought that the Hebo was there, although I should have checked. And I'm just being obnoxious here. I apologize for that. And the monkey was doing a damage buff. It's really easy when you're getting surrounded like that to assume your teammates are just ignoring you. But really, I can see now post-commentary that he really was just too far away and the Hebo was nowhere near. So that was just my misplay. I wasn't paying attention. And this is something that happens to everyone no matter how good you are, how long you're playing, or if you haven't been playing at all. It happens at every level to every person. Just the lapses of judgment or those moments where you don't pay attention completely or you just get greedy or zoning or whatever. So that was a misplay by me. I could have done that a lot better. Especially with no wards up and their tower down, it's really hard to keep track of where they are. So I kind of wandered out into a death situation there. So I picked up a Deathbringer next just because I'm getting a really good farm, and generally if you are getting really good farm, you don't want to go for early to mid-game items. You want to just kind of skip and go straight for really hard damage items, really expensive items, because that'll keep your lead alive. If you rush minor advantage items, then you really don't get much use out of them. But if you get so far ahead that you buy really expensive items that you really shouldn't have yet, then your advantage just stays and keeps growing and growing and growing. So that's what I did here. I go ahead and I pick up the Deathbringer. If you notice, I leave my boots at level 2. This is very common with a lot of players. You get really good stats off your boots, and they're very effective early on. It's very important to have movement speed. But generally, the tier 3 of every boots is very, very expensive. A lot of players will wait. So I got a little aggressive there, and I went ahead and went for the Caledonian Boar. I take a few shots at the tower, and then I hop on out. The monkey does as well. We forced an ultimate there, although we both used ours. So I would say that was not a very good trade for us. But we just got a little greedy. Sometimes it happens. I was expecting to be able to trade tower shots with the monkey there and do a little damage, but he had the ultimate up, which means I couldn't land any more basic attacks. If his spears were not up, he would have died there, I'm pretty sure, just because I would have been land a few more attacks. Plus, I have pretty high crit. So I'm going to go over here and go ahead and take out this damage buff if I can. I'm pretty fed, so it'll be really easy for me. Take out the side minions so I don't take as much damage. I just go straight for the buff minion. You can see I'm doing some pretty significant damage. That wasn't very difficult for me. I'm at about half HP and I don't have my ultimate, so I need to be careful here. I'm kind of deciding where I want to go. I might go for the... it looks like I'm going to go for the protection buff. I do hear the hell and I see the Anubis on the map, so I side against that. It's really important to double check where you are and what you're doing. As you saw earlier, I died just because I wasn't paying attention. And so I heard the hell, I saw the Anubis and decided that it wasn't worth it to go around. Also, luckily, I did get back because Odin was there as well, so I could have had a repeat of what happened earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and get this health buff, and with my mana pots, I won't have to retreat. The skill build you're seeing on the bottom of the screen is pretty common for Artemis players. You max out Suppress the Insolent first, follow up with Vengeful Assault, but make sure you have one level of the traps. I'm going to go ahead and knock out all these ranged minions. I'm not really scared of him, just because I'm pretty farmed and he's not doing much. I'm deciding, just because Hebo's coming, to use the boar. I saw him on the map and I saw him coming in, so I used the boar and I follow up with a Vengeful Assault. He's going to jump out, which we really should have been prepared for. It's really common for leapers to do that. So I'm going to land a Suppress the Insolent here, get a good slow off. Knocked him up in the air, which slowed enough for me to land a hit. So that was a good cleanup for us. It's really important to notice when your teammates are coming. If you have a good initiator ability like I do with the Caledonian Boar, you can go first. I saw the Hebo coming, so I decided that I was going to use that right before the Hebo came in, before the Odin could react. That way Hebo could land all of his abilities on him very easily. As far as the state of the game at this point, we're pretty far ahead, although we are dying. Looks like right lane's having a bit of trouble, but our left lane is really farmed. And both of us are physical carries, and our mid's doing pretty well as well. So I'm not really too concerned. At this point, around the 20-minute mark, a little bit less, a little bit later, it depends on the game, is when people start grouping up, going for objectives on the map, and also for team fights. So that's why I'm kind of leaving the left lane alone. Looks like Hebo is telling us we got some people coming behind us. I'm going to hit him in the face just because I'm not scared. If you guys didn't know, while you're playing this game, if you do side strafe or back up, you move slower than you do when you run forward. So you saw there when I saw the Mummify coming, I actually turned to run so that I would move out it quicker and it ended up not hitting me. It's really important to know that. I mean, you do sacrifice vision when you're not running straight, but you also don't move as slow. So I go ahead and drop the boar there, drop the trap on top of her, and she's pretty much guaranteed to die here. So I knew that was dead, so I turned. We're trapped in the Odin's playpen here, but we're all together and Odin's alone, so we're not really too concerned. I do still have my beads in case Anubis comes. I landed the slow there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I hear a Kali attacking my team, so I turn immediately to go help. It's what I was talking about earlier, where you can't leave your teammates like that. See how my Emir went down there. If I'd gotten there sooner, they probably would have backed off. The Ao Kuang's getting low as well. It's just really, really important to turn and help the teammates that are low instead of chasing kills. Looks like the Hebo did chase the kill. I'm not sure if he got him. I wasn't paying attention, but as soon as I heard the Kali ultimate through the wall, I just turned and ran to my team. And I was able to save Ao Kuang, thankfully. Emir didn't make it out, but that's okay. It's kind of his job as a tank to die. After my third item, it looks like I finished off my boots just because I had the extra money. And I'm doing good damage. And I was looking at their team, and they don't really have a lot of defenses. The only thing that they have is Void Stone's the only defensive item I saw, so they weren't really going for physical protection. So I just go ahead and finish off that the rest of the Warrior's hobby, so I can get the extra move speed and just have that done. At this point, we're kind of just looking to pick off some objectives, group up, get some ganks. It looks like we're in a pretty good lead, but that can fall behind pretty quickly. Smite's just one of those games where if you're not careful, you can lose your lead or fall behind very easily. Kind of being careful here in case he lands a Mummify, although I do have my beads up. As far as ability items go, all I really need right now is the beads. I'm not really too concerned about buying other ability items. I'm just trying to get my farm even higher. Just because I need the beads for the monkey ult and also the Anubis wrap and a few other things. There's a hell slow, but it's not very likely to use it on that. I'm going to go ahead and put a trap in front of the fire giant just because it's impossible to go around that one. There's no way to walk around it. So either I see them go in or I look over there if I wasn't watching the minimap. If the trap was gone, then I know they entered it. So it's something to look out for. Looks like the monkey just got a solo kill, which is really good, although he did end up dying. I'm going to go over here and get this damage buff real quick. I'm just looking for opportunities to farm, looking for opportunities to grab things. I apologize, guys. I didn't realize this was such a farm-heavy game. Maybe I'll play more action characters when I play ranked and I record. Like a ganker or a mid character or something like that. At this point, I'm just trying to get my farm up. I'm kind of babysitting Ao Kuang, hoping that my team doesn't get too aggressive, although Emir's like kind of behind enemy lines here, so he's in a bit of trap. There's not really much we can do. By the time we get there, they'll all be dead or they'll be really pushed. So we're going to hang out here, push this lane down. We can take this tower down very easily. I'm going to go ahead and put this trap here for two reasons. One, for vision, and one, either for a place to kite around and go move. The monkey came in. I'm going to go ahead and use the beads immediately on the Happy New Year and run back. I'm going to try to play this as best I can. I'm going to move around. There's the boar. I dropped the trap, but he beads right away, which I didn't expect. I'm pretty low here. I ended up getting picked off. I was hoping that the Ao Kuang would help out more there, but I guess he ran and didn't really pay attention too much. Looks like I'm complaining in chat again. Yeah, he ran into the jungle around and was just expecting us to get out, but I don't think he expected me to fight back. Although I really didn't have much of an option there. There wasn't really anywhere I could run. I was pretty far away, so. So we're kind of just hanging out, pushing, trying to look for options here. Looks like Hebo just went down, and then Emir went down as well. My option here is I'm going for a Void Blade. After fighting that monkey and realizing how farmed he was, I realized how much physical protection I need. Void Blade's a really good pickup. If you're far up enough ahead and you don't need the damage, it does give you physical damage, physical protection, and then reduces physical protection around you. So it'll make me do more damage, but also give me that little extra physical protection that'll help me fight with Wukong. After this, I might go for some life steal just to make sure that I can just duel it out. After that engagement just now, I realized that I really need to be filling the role of a duelist, just because Wukong's really fed, but the rest of his team really isn't. So as long as I can take him out or just go toe-to-toe with him without much concern, then I'll be able to take the mid and late game very easily. Looks like Monkey's going for some craziness right now. It's really low. He's got about 1 HP. Looks like he's gonna get picked off. He gets picked off. The enemy team is pretty well gathered right now. I'm kind of just scoping around the corner to check who it is. Odin has no mana. I was gonna try and get a suppress the insolent on him there, but he got out of range in time. Looks like our Hebo and Wukong are very well fed. Good item. And I went for, you can see there I saw the Heartseeker. If you look at the scoreboard, it's very easy to pick off those kind of items. If you see anybody who has a Heartseeker or Doom Orb, you really need to focus them first. It's really important to make sure that they die constantly, especially if they haven't died in a while. Their damage is going to be unnaturally high, and I realized that's why the Monkey was able to solo me so well and why he did so much damage, even after how much farm I had, just because he probably had full stacks on the Heartseeker. Luckily, he ended up dying there, so he lost those stacks, although he's going to be farming those up. So I'm looking at the Gold Fury. They're attacking it right now, and I'm kind of just playing defense here. I should be shooting the Gold Fury, but I don't want to be too far out of position. I'm going to take the long way around, try and grab the squishies in the back. It's very easy for a ranged caster like Artemis to be doing that. I was going to go for that, but I'm making sure that I don't get caught off too bad. Just because there was an Anubis and an Odin, which usually. So I knew he was going to jump in and Gungnir's Might immediately, so I ran underneath him. The biggest thing about leaps is people will try and lead in front of you where you're going to run just because it's better that way. So what you can do is run underneath them and run back to where they were, and you won't get the damage from the land. This is really important against characters like Wukong as well, because Wukong's leap will slow you when it lands. So it's one of those things you really want to avoid. So at this point I'm kind of just farming, trying to get the next big item. I have tier 1 of the Void Blade, which really helped me against the Wukong, and I want to finish it off soon. And we really need to put more wards up. I'm not buying wards just because I'm the carry and I'm pretty far ahead, so I want to keep that lead. Also, I do have the Transgressor's Fate, so I'm just kind of placing those in good areas. And I'm just going to go defend this tower, pick up some buffs, and farm some more. I didn't realize how slow-paced this game was. Thought there was more action. Maybe it just felt like more action. So mid's going to be peeking up here, although I don't feel like I can do much. It looks like my team's kind of caught behind any line, so I'm going to pick this up. This could have been a misplay by me. Maybe I should have gone over there, but I really didn't think that much could be done. It was 3 mid versus 4. Just trying to finish my items here. Hopefully we can pick this up. As far as item choices, after your second or third item, so usually the first 3 items for physical carries are always about the same. I might go for a Frostbound Hammer, but more likely probably a Soul Eater. I don't remember what I picked up, but Soul Eater would probably be the best option here. Gives me a little bit of HP, so a little more sustainable. You can see I'm under 2k HP, so I'm not that strong. I can't really take that much damage, although I'm not really meant to. But the Soul Eater will give me HP, it'll give me attack speed, and it'll give me 25% lifesteal, which is really, really good. Especially with the Deathbringer and the... if I get 3 stacks up on the execution, I'll be doing a lot of damage. I'll let my team know that the Monkey's at the green, just to let them know where he is. We're going to come in here, and we have 2 options. We can pick out the right lane or the mid. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm actually doing this right before I go to bed to make sure I have a good video to render. I'm going to land right after the jump. I was waiting for the jump to go there. Go ahead and pick that off. I'm doing some pretty significant damage. Kali ultimate followed by Anubis ultimate, so I'm trying to run back, get out of the way as far as I can. Then the second that ultimate's done, I'm going to turn around and get some damage done. Looks like the Ao Kuang has Gem of Isolation, that's why he got slowed. I'm not going to pick him off here, so I'm just going to let that go. Just farming. Like I said, over and over, actually. If you're ahead, you want to keep that advantage. Looks like left lane's in engagement, but that's too far away, so I'm just going to push this Phoenix. Picking off a Phoenix at any point in the game is very, very valuable, just because that lane is always going to push for you. It's very hard for people to farm in that lane, just because the minions there do more damage. They have more HP, and a lot harder to kill. So if you're going to go there to farm, it's very, very difficult for anyone to do, especially for someone like Wukong who has to get in their face. So, I'm out of mana. I want to finish off this Void Blade, and Ao Kuang's out of mana. All our cooldowns were down, so we go ahead and back up. We're going to go ahead and follow this up with a Fire Giant, just because we have their right Phoenix down. A lot of them are dead and just now coming back up, but they're also not as strong as us. We're a lot more farmed than them, so we're just going to hold down this advantage, pick up the Fire Giant, and try and go after them. Looks like the Wukong is getting pretty farmed, but he just died, thankfully. If you're going for a ranked game or any game where you're really serious or you're expecting some opposition that's equal skill level or around your skill level in any way, I wouldn't recommend getting a Doomworm or a Heartseeker for the very reason that the enemy Wukong is experiencing now. Once he dies, he really doesn't have that comeback power. Since he's dead and if he keeps dying, he doesn't really have the damage he had before when he soloed me very quickly. And he needs to farm up to get that, but he doesn't to get the stacks back. But he doesn't really have any opportunities to do so, just because we're pushing all the lanes, we're always scattered, and he really doesn't have any options. We're taking their buffs and stuff like that, so he really doesn't have much to go on here. And the fact that he has it, I mean, the Heartseeker without any stacks is just a garbage item. It's not worth anything, doesn't do anything. Looks like they're gonna pick him off. I was gonna shoot a suppress insolent through the wall there in case he didn't get him, but he got him. At this point, we're just trying to make sure we take this out, but take it carefully. I'm kind of leading the charge. I might lay a trap here somewhere. Looking for a good slow opportunity. I do have my ultimate. We're going to take some free shots on the Phoenix if we can. Never hurts to have free shots on the Phoenix. Looks like I did go for the Soul Eater, which is a really good buy. I agree with my choice to do that. I should be placing traps in the side lanes here. It's really important to do that. At this point, the game is pretty much sealed. I might just post this anyway, just because it's just more content for you guys to view and some good commentary. Unfortunately, I missed the stun there, but I'm going to go for the Suppress the Insolent. Probably take this out here. Aggro the Minotaur. We need to be really careful. A lot of teams will think they have the advantage, and even if they do have the advantage, they'll still go in for the kill, and they can easily get wiped on the Minotaur. Especially since they have an Odin. If we get too caught in, and the Minotaur's, like, say the Minotaur's attacking me, if I got trapped in with the spears, I would have no way to skip the Minotaur, and the Minotaur just does ridiculous damage. It's very difficult. I don't feel like we can push in here since they all have everyone up, and they have a lot of ultimates. Monkey's just going crazy. He's just diving in there trying to kill him. So I'm going to go ahead and bait him out, bait him out, bait him out. It's important to do this. If you come and show yourself too soon, they might just back up. If the monkey kept running, they kept chasing him, I would just pop out from the shadows and destroy them. Monkey's going to go for the farm here, so I'm probably coming behind him. Shoot this Phoenix down really quickly.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy Phoenix.
He's going to jump through the wall there, but the monkey's going to follow him. Looks like left lane just getting attacked here, and this is wrapping up. Just gonna end up shooting the Minotaur here. The boar's laying there, dodging the Mummify. Probably pick him off in this fountain. Really big crits. Artemis is very, very powerful late game. There's the spears, but I don't have the Minotaur aggro. I'm just gonna run around. Just because I take very minimal damage. And that looks like that's going to be game there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you learned a lot. I will, in the future, make sure that I record more quality games for you. This one was a little bit, but here's the scoreboard, and thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you in my next video.